Hello, everybody. How is it going? Hey, Michael. Hey, Gary. Hey, Dave. And hey, Mike as well. Yeah, welcome to Making Monday. I have my camera pointing really towards the door for some reason. Um, yeah, welcome to Making Monday. Got a pretty fun stream today, hopefully. Yeah, so why don't we just jump into it? Is it a bit low? Is it too much in front of my face? Is there something up with it? Maybe it's just it was twisted, maybe? I'm not sure. A little echoey. I wonder if a second microphone on or something. I'm not sure. Hey, thanks for the sub, Gary. Much appreciated. Hey, Gregor, how's it going? Is anybody else getting the echoey sound that Mike is talking about? Yeah, like, of all the things in my room that didn't move over the weekend, the the microphone was like the only thing. I had moved everything out of the office other than that for working on. Let me show you what I was working on. Real fancy project. My wife's first Instructables. So it is a cake made out of buttercream icing, and it says "Have a hoot." Very good. So yeah, I have a lot of photo or editing of video clips and stuff to put up, but we spent pretty much all of Sunday on that, and I moved out all my lights and cameras and stuff into the kitchen to do the recording of it. But anyways, not too important. Hey Chris, how's it going? Sorry, I only saw your message there a minute ago. Yeah, I wonder is there something wrong with the zero? I'm not sure if I ever tested it, but with a zero. But I'll test your actual YouTube account after this, and then we'll see. Thanks, Kevin. So fun little project. There's these things called StreamDecks. And they're a very fancy version of what we're going to be building. We will not be building one as fancy as this at all. Let's go to screen share. So this is a Stream Deck, and each one of these is an LCD screen, so you can display whatever you want on it. But what it's used for is, like, say things like this where I turn off the desk view in this mode here, so you can see it flicking on and off there. I'm going to OBS and finding that source, and I'm making it not visible. But with one of these, you can set like a hotkey to press and it turns it off. But this is €150. Oh no. That would have been a good purchase. But Chris, why not build your own rather than paying even €30 for one on Maplin? So yeah, this is €150, and that's fine. Like, to be honest, it's a pretty impressive product with the displays. The actual like buttons to do things is pretty standard. But yeah, hey Slayer Dart, how's it going? I was about to say Slayer Det, but I just read it wrong. Yeah, that's great to know, Slayer. Look forward to hearing about it. That's weird that Littlewoods also sells this, man. But anyways, so let's look at the desk here. We have two main components and we have some side components as well. So this, let's bring us down a little bit closer. This is, let's get us a little bit more focused. This is an Arduino Pro Micro. So this is maybe about $5 off AliExpress, maybe $4 I'm not sure, about $5, I think. So this, I think there is an Arduino Pro Micro, but it's basically Arduino Leonardo. And these can be used to emulate a HID device, so they can like send keyboard commands to your PC or whatever it's plugged into. And so this is a way of sending custom keyboard commands or whatever. So you could build that side of the StreamDeck with this, and then this is just a really cheap and fairly naff keypad that you can buy off AliExpress for about 50 cents delivered. So that's nice and cheap. It doesn't really get any cheaper than that for lots of inputs. Hey, Doey 2002, thanks for joining. And thanks for following as well. I got the notification like 5 minutes before the stream started. It scared the crap out of me because I didn't even realize I had my speakers on. So, and Slayer Dart. Ooh, I must send you something actually after this. That does sound like a cool project. I must send you a video that I did before. That is kind of along the same lines of that. Let me just do that super quickly. YouTube.com. Hey, zero time 01. How's it going? Sorry, I couldn't read it on the preview. Is the main thing I look at it on, so I just had to open up. Ooh, I have a new setting on my YouTube option, paid memberships, whatever that is. Let's see, I just want to go into my video manager. No problem. Let's just grab that. Has anybody been watching the soccer? I know there's a few English people in the chat. Sounds like he had a okay time in the end. And for the Germans in the chat, I'm sorry. I'm not sure where the rest of you guys are from, but us Irish are nice and neutral, so we just support whoever. How long ago was this? This is a while. Let's see. Here it is. So that's a video that I did, and it's a really different type of video for me. It was like not a finished project, but it was something I was prototyping around with that I thought was kind of fun. It uses Bluetooth, low energy Bluetooth, and those kind of tracking devices that you'd normally attach to like keys. So, you can find the keys where you last left them or whatever. So, like, I explain it in the video, but, like, I attach one of them to my wallet and I attach another one to my work badge. Actually, let me take my work badge off. So that's one of the thing. Oh, sorry, that's it. Oh, that URL is edit. 1 second. It's not the actual video URL. Oops. We can't have sweepstakes in my company. It's a form of gambling, which we're very against. So that's the right video. But so it had a Bluetooth low energy device attached to the Arduino that like was searching for how far away these tracking devices were. So if it couldn't find it at all, it'd be like, I can't see your phone. Or if it seen it, but the signal was too low, it'd be like, I'm suspicious about how far away that badge is. So yeah, it's kind of a cool project. But is that not working either? That one should be good. But it could have ads on it. No, I don't know if that's what you mean. Writing readable code. I definitely could do with some of that. Yeah, so with this, we can send custom keyboard commands, and with this, we can press buttons. So, like, if we just attach the two of these together, we would have a device that we can program to have custom keyboard commands, right? So yeah, seems like a bit of fun, right? And then I just have some other stuff here that will probably need, like a bit of perf board, some female header pins and the male header pins from the Pro Micro. And if we want to build it in a breadboard rather than soldering it up first, which seems like a good idea, we can do that. I won't be putting it in a case or anything this evening because it'd just be too slow. So the first thing that would be a good idea to do is, I tested this on my Mac, but just to test it again, or just to show it on stream as well, is just get this sending a simple command or just working as a keyboard would be the first test. And this one actually already has code on it for copying and pasting, so I'm really worried about what it's going to do when I plug it in. Yeah, so that would be a good trick. I was like, I just had this device and I had it plugged into my laptop, and I was like, you know, most of the examples are when a button is pressed to do this or whatever, and I was like, that's fine. I'll just, you know, make it be like I'll do it on a loop or whatever, and I'll do it in a loop or whatever, and then I was like, I'll make it a second. And I was like, no, I better make it 5 seconds just in case. And I absolutely needed to make it 5 seconds, because as soon as I plug this in, like it's on straight away, so it's just running. So like, you know, it takes me time to, you know, overwrite it or whatever. So like, yeah, it's a bit slow. Yeah. So yeah, to be honest, for me with coding or whatever, I like to just build side projects, and, you know, I feel like I'll learn from them or whatever, and I'll tidy them up whenever I can. But that is the most important thing to me, is productivity more than anything. So if we look down through the list here, there's an Arduino Genuino Micro, and that is the board that we're going to select for that. And then if we go look at the examples again, there is a USB here and keyboard, and we can just see this USB keyboard message example, and we'll open that up. So yeah, it's a pretty simple example. Button equals 4, previous button state equals high, blah 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 blah. And when you plug that in, or when you write this, when the button pin 4 is pressed, it will print this out. Actually, it might be a good idea to solder this up first, but I can show this working with the code that it currently has. Actually, no, it won't, because it's going to it's programmed for a Mac. You can use whatever you want. There is a way of compiling on the command line. I would always just use the Arduino IDE because it's the most common one for everybody who's looking. You know, if I was using, like, my preference would be something like Visual Studio Code or something along those lines, but I don't want it to put anybody off who isn't familiar with that. You know, as in, anybody who works on Arduino should be pretty familiar with the Arduino IDE, even if you don't use it as your main one. So yeah, so this isn't going to work because the button command I was pressing is like Command V, while it's Control V on Windows. Yeah, so 0 times 01 uses Platform IO and Vim. So yeah, I don't know what this is going to do. We're setting it up as a device, Arduino Micro. Yeah, let's just get rid of the button reading stuff, and we'll just turn it into a delay. I'll just make it a really long. Actually, I'll print it out once on startup. Let's see. Void print. Oh, yeah. It's bringing up like special. Let's get rid of this until I'm ready to actually write it. It was doing stuff Print text on the screen, bringing up like a Windows extender and stuff, and yeah, Windows mode extender. Yeah, so let's just print out print ln hello stream, and let's get rid of all this stuff. So yeah, the reason I'm not doing it in the loop anymore is because as I couldn't leave it plugged in there. I couldn't leave it plugged in there, and it's just would like try do stuff over and over again. So if I put this in a loop, it would print this over and over again. But if I just do it once on startup, then it should be pretty good. Like it's easy to manage. I just need to deal with it printing out hello stream once, and then I don't need to worry about it anymore. So I'm just gonna save this as simple micro example. A Bitcoin miner that would yield absolutely nothing. I think somebody did it before. There was a post about it on Hackaday or something, and it would make literally nothing. Yeah. Oh, you built the Neo 7 segment display from Unexpected Maker. Yeah, not to give something away, but I actually have a couple of them that I need to build, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm really looking forward to it. Should be fun. Okay, so let's try upload this. Let's look at the port. It's not plugged in. That would probably explain why I don't see any ports. There's my... So hopefully we get to override it soon before it starts doing special moves on me. Oh, you got some boards made up, is it? Yeah. Do I follow you on Instagram or something? I saw somebody who got a green Neo 7 segment made up. Was that you? And they also got the BCD, the David Watts BCD clock done up as well, which is cool, really cool. Yeah, Gavin. See. Oh, there's my daughter is crying, but I don't see it doing anything at the moment now. This is a good reason why we get this working first. So, hello stream should print out on startup, and it's not. Maybe a delay or something. Maybe I need to enable something on Windows 10. Let's take a look. Arduino Pro Micro. Arduino Pro Micro Windows 10. Alright, so this is our Pro Micro. I have no idea if it's a 3 volt or a 5 volt. It's got a little checkbox on the back, but neither of them are checked. So, we can test that easy enough, but I want to just see. Yeah, that's all fine. Installing device. Some users... Oh, okay, so it's plugged into a USB 3 port at the moment, and it looks like that might be a problem. So let me plug it into a USB 2 port. This might mean I can't I can't put it on camera and have it plugged in at the one time. I don't know if the front port on my computer is also USB 3. It's blue, but I didn't think it was actually USB 3. It's not printing out anything. Yeah, I don't have any teensies, and it's just that these are normally pretty cheap. It worked perfectly fine on the Mac, but I guess I should have tested it on Windows before I started doing a stream on it. But that's cool. We'll sort this out because, like, it won't work as a StreamDeck device if we don't sort this out anyways. So let's see. We'll open device and printers. So it is on my list of stuff. I don't think I'm giving anything away here by showing this. So it is Arduino Micro is showing up here. So this device is working properly. I'll just put a small delay in here. Print text, keyboard println, keyboard begin. I'll see why this wouldn't work. Just try again. Done uploading. Nope, not printing anything out. So that's a bit of a disaster. Oh yes, Doey is Gary Rivet. That makes sense. Name does sound familiar. So, okay, let's bring back up that Spark Fun. Device management, USB I/O board. Let me just plug it in the normal port because I'm not gaining any. Well, let me try plug it in at the back actually to a USB port, USB 2 port. Ugh. Oops. Why do all my ports have to be USB 3 ports? Just about reach it to my desk here too. Maybe did I delete something from the example that I need to have? No. Okay, so that is. Let's try again. At the old searching. Should be the same. Genuine Micro. We've it programmed okay. What's this? USB 2 host. Okay, interesting. Let me sit back down again anyways. Till we figure out what's wrong here. So let's bring up my device manager. So it has a hid device. I wonder is Windows, and it was doing stuff earlier. Actually, yeah, it was doing stuff earlier, so there must be something wrong with what I'm doing now, or maybe Windows 10 is ignoring that as a keyboard input device, or device manager. I don't have anything that looks wrong in my device manager. Yeah, I bought a Xbox Live camera off a company called CEX. It was like $1.50 or something. I don't know if they'll ship to Germany though. I have used it before for Octopi. It's not the best quality of a webcam, but it's okay. It'd be okay to keep an eye on stuff like that. Let me bring this back up to the top again. Ugh. Okay. So if I have to, I'll take out my laptop, but that will be no fun to share and stuff in terms of sharing on the stream. Let me just upload one of the actual examples to make sure I'm not doing something stupid. Maybe it does need to be in the loop. Maybe it's not actually like initialized or something until it is. So this is keyboard serial. I'm guessing it's going to allow me to pass through stuff that comes in on the serial. Hey, thanks for the sub, Neskimo. Yeah, much appreciated. That's great, thank you. Slayer Dart, you can become a Bitcoin miner. It'll probably be an old server. It'll probably be pretty power hungry, but you might as well give it a go. Is it still on Com3? It is. Let's upload that. Okay, so done uploading. I kind of heard it made the booted whoop as if it was like not working, but sure, let's see. So that did something. Type the next ASCII character. Okay, so this is working. So I guess it just can't be in the setup. It needs to be in the loop. So like I type in hi here, and it's going to print the next ASCII characters back. So it's going to print IJ back. And it printed IJ back. Kind of an unusual example, but I suppose it needs to show that it's replaced, whatever. But okay, so it's working fine after that scare. Okay, cool. Right, next step is to connect it to this keypad. And in order to do that, we are going to need to solder a little bit. So let's do that. Let's move my phone. Let's turn off the fact that it has a torch on. And let's focus you guys up. While we're focusing you up, let's get the soldering iron heated up. So we're using our TS100. Sorry about the delay in that. It's probably not the most exciting stuff, but yeah, at least we know we can't put anything in the setup. So yeah, it's a really nice soldering iron. I really like it. So we're gonna go for the old solder using the breadboard technique, so I can move you a bit closer here again. I know I just focused you not there. So we're going to put in the male header pins that we got with the Pro Micro. We're putting the short side up into the Pro Micro and then the long side into the breadboard. We're going to make sure that we have it the right distance apart. And we're going to press this down. We're going to press this down. Okay, so you just want to make sure it's down nice and tight. Doesn't have anywhere else to move. Chris, the iron I have is a TS100. It's normally you see them in black, but I decided to go for this copper looking one. I bought it on Amazon. There's a link in all my YouTube descriptions. I don't know if that exact one is still there now, but I really like it. It is kind of like a portable one. The thing I don't like about it, and you could fix it yourself, is it's powered by, what is it? It takes 12 to 24 volts. It's not focused, but 12 to 24 volts, and so you can get them with a power supply, but this is like a laptop cord. It's not flexible at all. That would be the main negative about it. Everything else is super good. It has like an activity like monitor, so it'll turn off if it's not it'll turn off if it's not being used. Ugh, I made an absolute mess of that, but that's fine. It'll turn off if it's not being used. It'll turn back on again, and it heats up super fast. So yeah, I'm just gonna tin my head a bit here. I haven't actually soldered a huge amount in the last while. I've just been mainly doing more sort of like programming stuff. Yeah, like doing a lot on the matrix or whatever. Okay, so can I get you in closer than that? I can get you in that close, but I need to focus you up afterwards. Yeah, the display is nice. It's funny, you can upload like custom firmware to them. Like somebody has like Tetris for it, and every time you lose or something, the solder iron gets 5 degrees hotter. So that's a interesting gamification. I'm really far away from this. I might reposition myself. Yeah, I'm way too far away. So let's move you out here. Bring this with us. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Chris. The giveaway. I don't know if much people will get the reference, but I was saying to Chris, could we make it a Father Ted moment of a raffle? Mike, you'll probably get that anyways. Or I don't know if you're a Father Ted fan, but every Irish person was at one stage, so probably. I'd love a bit of blue tack, but I don't know where my blue tack is. just to stop the board moving around, or the breadboard moving around. I might have to go find some. Yeah, so we're just doing a quick job on these. The soundtrack of Father Ted, so that means that your favorite band is the Divine Comedy, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like singing Divine Comedy songs. I only really know one, the National Express, and My Lovely Horse, obviously. I've used so much solder for these. The holes are massive compared to the pin headers, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna get something to hold this down, even if it's a bit of tape. I have tape here. No, blue tack would be the right job. 1 second. Logitech Me, turn off. Okay. Sorry about that. I missed something. Oh, nice. Okay, so I missed the Divine Comedy stuff. Oh, sorry. Doey 2002. Good night. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm just putting a bit of blue tack in the corners here. Yeah, it shows how long ago it's been since I soldered. I haven't used blue tack in yonks. Yeah, I can't remember any other Divine Comedy songs. Let's move that over there. So we have one side done. A few crappy looking points, but sure, that'll do. Let's move you over here. I have a lot of cake dough on my my webcam. However, my wife got it up there, but yeah, it was fun actually making the cake. It's not for me. No, it's I actually find it really tiring just being on your feet that long and kind of arched over. I guess you'd really want to I don't know, if you do any work on the table rather than a counter, it's just too low. So what am I keeping an eye out for? Divine Comedy CDs, is it? Sure. Which ones do you not have? If I'm in a charity shop or something, I'll take a look for you. Is that what you are looking for at car boot sales? When you're finding, what was it? It was a variable resistor or something that you got for £1 or something. I love the idea of car boot sales and getting the bargains from them. I don't know if car boot sales translates to German people or anybody else, but it's basically just like what the Americans would call a yard sale. It'd be the equivalent of what Americans have as yard sales. But you go to like maybe like a park or something, like a car park, and they're called car boot sales because you're selling stuff. The idea is that you're selling it from the boot of your car. Yeah, a flea market. Yeah, is the right term for that. That doesn't look amazing, but it'll do. And it comes out alright. So I think it'd probably be best to build this on a breadboard before soldering anything. But yeah, I like the idea of them, but I just never would be bothered going to them though. My mom loves them, so she's always bringing me back stuff from this. But Trodel Market or Flow Market. Flow? Marked. Will I just use some nice new... Yeah, let me just use some nice new jumper wires. I'll use some concerned. Need to get there early. Oh, this is another thing for the generalization of German people. I got these. I won these in a competition from Instructables, and it came with a kit, and half of them are broken. I need to replace the heads on them. So I need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So up to red here. Yeah, that like when you go on holidays, that the Germans are going to get up early and take all the good sun loungers. They get up early and put their towels down first to get all the good sun loungers. That's like maybe it's not a big thing anymore, but like maybe like 10 years ago that would be in like multiple stand-up routines from like British comedians. Like it'd be like this. Was it Peter Kay had a thing about it? Maybe towel war. Yeah. This is what we talk about. Oh, let me actually show you what I'm doing. This is what we talk about behind the Germans' backs. Them stealing the sun loungers with their towels. Alright, let's put these last 2 in. I have a few replacement heads that I can yeah. That looked like a really nice speech that you sent on. It's one just for the Germans. Like, was that at the sea? I didn't think Germany has a small part of it that touches the sea, does it? I don't know if we're allowed to mention about. But is that a tourist resort, or was that attached to? Was that attached to a lake or whatever? It looked cool though. So I'm just going to plug these into... I need 8 digital ports. As far as I know, the way it works... Do I have a page here? I do. I have a pen here. I do. So it actually works pretty similar to the Saturday stream that we were working on, kind of. So the 1 button here. So everything on this row is, our column is connected to one pin, and the same for all the other ones. So there's four columns, and then there is a button, I don't know, that's a button attached to, yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. All these ones are on one row, are on one column, and all these are on one row. So each row is connected to a pin, and each column is connected to a pin. So if it wants to see if one is pressed, the columns, this will output a 1, and if this row comes back as a 1 as an input, then it knows that 1 has been pressed, because all these other ones will be 0. So it knows that if a 1 came back on this one, and zeros came back on all of this one, it knows that this was the button that was pressed, and then it will move on to the next one and pass a 1 in on this one and 0 on that one, and then if a 1 comes on this one and 0 on that one, it knows that this button has been pressed. As far as I know, that is how these work, and we're about to find out. But there's just 4 digital pins, so yeah, as far as I know, 4 inputs and 4 outputs is what you need. And do I have 4 digital pins down here? I do. So pin 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are down the bottom right here. So I'm gonna try use them. Now I think I need a library for this. Maybe there is a keypad library. Is it built in? Keypad sensors. No, I think there's a separate library I need. Let's see if it's in. Let's show my screen. Let's see. So include library. A friend of mine actually, or sorry, a friend, well, he's a friend too, but a colleague from work is in Berlin at the moment at the what is it called? A Unity conference or Unity training thing. So I was originally hoping to go to it, but I wouldn't have been able to go since he was going. So I completely forgot what I was going to do there. I need to manage libraries, and I want to look for Keypad. Hey Greg, how's it going? I guess you could just scribble out. I guess you could just scribble out the star and the hash. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could overlay stuff, but I actually have some Tipex that I got or I don't know. Do you call that Tipex? Whiteout if you're American, I think. Correction pen, I think, is the technical name for it. I guess you could just scribble out the star and put an E and an F instead. The reason I was going to do it is because I want to mark the connector. Yeah, so keypad, multiple key process, keypad tutorial. Yeah, I think this is it, or maybe it's key matrix to process text. I think it's just this one. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so let's look. Let's close that down. We should now have new examples. I am looking for keypad. I want a custom keypad. Yeah, that'll work too, actually. Adhesive. Hello, keypad? Okay, yeah, here we go. There is 4 columns, and what's on the rest of them is, this looks right, A is that. Let's just copy and paste down, because that's my style, except I didn't copy and paste enough stuff. Damn, sorry to hear, Greg. I still kind of can't get used to the fact that it's like going into your winter now or whatever, or it is your winter now. It's just like, yeah, I'm just not used to it at all. Okay, so I don't know which one is which in terms of which one is the, let's go up to the desk plus me. Hope you feel better soon anyways, Greg. So one of these is rows and one of them is columns. And I don't know which ones. We could test, I suppose, using a multimeter, could we? Yeah, let's try out a multimeter. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, like that just messes with my head. Like, does that mean you've got different like Christmas movies than us? Because like all our Christmas movies would be, you know, snow and stuff. So right, so I'm putting in an adapter on the left and the right connections here. These are my special made up DuPont to crocodile cable clips. It's just because I find them much easier to connect to multimeters. So we're just gonna set into that's not good. Okay, cool. So none of these are working. I'm pressing like all the buttons and it hasn't beeped once. That's not good. Let's try one of the other ones. No beep in there either. Am I misunderstanding how these work? I must be. Like it's making a connection. Okay. Let's not do it the old-fashioned way. How do I know which ones are the Arduino keypad hookup? Look at this. Somebody is the ultimate wiring guide. Doesn't work too well on yeah, there's probably, maybe there's a resistor array in it or whatever. Look at this guy. This guy's got my back. Look at this. Pins 8, 7, 6, and 5 should be connected to digital pins 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2. So the first 4 are our row pins. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Instructable. This is from CRC Ibernetica. So thank you, CRC Ibernetica. And it's the same library and everything. Perfect. So 5432 is his pins, and we're connecting them to the first 4 here, which is slightly confusing, but anyways. 5432, and I have them connected to 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, David Watts is happy after the football. Yeah, it's gotta be a nice feeling to score in the 90th minute of a World Cup to avoid a super disappointing result. It pretty much sees you through now once Tunisia don't beat Belgium, or you don't lose to Panama. It's pretty much a done deal now, right? So 4, 3, 2, 1, 9, 8, 7, 6. So I'm guessing 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I need to keep counting the way I was. Oops, where am I? So it's just 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so what does this do? It just prints out the key that it got. So let's do that. I'm gonna do a simple keypad. It's all to play for. It sure is. Okay, so let's try upload this. So are you normally a soccer fan, David, or is it just a World Cup thing? I guess like my follow-up question to that is, seeing as you are from Leicester, I'm pretty sure, does that mean you are a Leicester fan? I can get the insights. What is this given out about? Oh, I still have the thing open. Do I? The serial? I don't see it open. I've never seen that before. Let me get rid of that. I don't know why it's given out about the comments at the top of the file, but sure. Oh, what is this? Serial port is open. But it doesn't seem to be. Ah! Help if I plugged it in. That would help humongously. I don't know why it even still had the port. Anyways. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I play every Thursday normally. I used to play twice a week when I was up in Galway, but with the longer commute or opening serial port. No, open. So it looks like I have another serial port now. 9. So let's try open that one. So I think it kind of gives you 2 options. Right. So I gotta. I need to share my screen with you, so you can see all the. Oh, you didn't see all the fun I was having. Yeah, so I think I didn't show you any of it. I added in this, the A, B, C, and D into the example, and I changed the pins to match my pins. That's all I changed. And okay, on my serial port here now, if you look down the bottom right, yeah, 5 aside as well. It's 6 aside normally, but yeah. I wouldn't be built for a big pitch. Yeah. Oh man, you should have definitely jumped on the Leicester bandwagon of 2 years ago. Would have been a lot of fun. I think everybody had. So, right, that is working as expected. Cool. So, let's solder it up so that we have a nice solid connection. We're going to use this little perf board. Yeah, so let's plug that out. And like, yeah, once it's all soldered up, we can work on the actual code of it. But it's not going to be too much work. It's basically going to be checking, like, if the key is 1, do this, send this command, and if it's 2, send this command. So, like, for the basic version, it'll be hard-coded and won't be configurable or whatever, but I think you can, like, put text files and stuff on this that you can change that allow you to reconfigure it. I haven't done any work with these type of boards before, but you get basic versions working first and then you can move on to fancier versions. But yeah, so this is nice as well that all the pins are directly in a row, are right beside each other. That's some unfocused camera I got going here. Which way do I want to go? That way. All the pins are right beside each other, so when we put it onto this perf board, I can pretty much just put a header right beside it, and I could like bridge the gap with solder, or I could put in I might leave a gap and use I have this like pre-stripped wire, or unsleeved wire I think would be the more correct term for it. So yeah, it'll fit nicely here. Might be worth cutting it in half just to get the other half of the breadboard for whatever other projects you'd want to fit another one over here if I wanted to make a second keypad. So yeah, I'll do that cutting first and then move on to the next one. Where am I going to cut? Go All Blacks. Who All Blacks are playing France at the moment, right? In the series. Well, it's over now, right? Because you bet them twice. So I guess that'd be like the middle. So I don't think I need any of them. I might cut a K. Oh, my silencer is unsilenced. I might cut along a K. So if I do need an extra pin for whatever reason, it's available to me. Because I can't cut down the middle of this anyways. So. My soldering iron has gone asleep. You can put the keypad directly on the pins without any perf board. I could do that, but I think it would make it. I could do that. Why don't I do that? I think it would be neater to. What I was thinking of was that I'd have like. So this box isn't big enough for the keypad, just in terms of like its physical size. So I'd probably go into 3D print something, and I thought it would be useful to have the board kind of in a box, like pointing out the side like that, and then that this thing was coming down and pointing into it. So yeah, I thought it'd be better to point them up, but that is a good suggestion though. But I think I'll just point them upwards. I brought the knife with me specifically for cutting this. Yeah, good luck, David. Thanks for joining. Do I need a ruler? No. Probably should get a ruler. Unexpected maker, you and Twitch do not get along, but good morning to you. Might as well get a bit of blue tech going. Why not? We were talking a little bit about sports, Sion, but I'd imagine you're not a sports fan, or you would have been rubbing it in my face last weekend. Yes, Twitch Prime and there are no ads. Yeah. Surely you must have paid for Twitch Prime at this stage, Michael. I know you were saying that you didn't at one stage in your... But it has to be. So I'd say that's probably enough. It's not the straightest cut in the world, but I am a sports fan, but I'm also a good sport. That's fair. Just this stuff is so much thicker than the crappy orange one. That's not cut enough. Just keep going along it, I suppose. Well, I appreciate that, but I returned the favor by not saying anything about this week. Okay, let me get that. That's true, but that's not how being a sports fan works. You know that. Come on. This stuff is really strong. My knife is probably terrible too, but come on, break already. Break out your forehead, and it looks like I'm gonna have to do that. The edge of my desk is curved, which is no fun to anybody. So I want to get it there. And we're gonna hold it. It's a success. We can all go home. Which side was I going to use? Doesn't matter. It should be pretty much the same. I'll just give it a quick rub on a file. I always find if I cut the other side that I never get the lines in the same place, so it doesn't break that cleanly anyways, but next time I might need to do that. Okay, so let's take a bit of the roughness off the edges. That seems pretty good. Right. Oh, well, I'll get my vice out, I think. will it work for me? No, not really. So I was thinking as well, rather than plugging directly into the board and smoldering it. Don't breathe the PCB smoke. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. I can't read your name. It's like green on blue for me. CBL89. It's going to be. Oh, I never updated my stream. Arduino. Building a crappy StreamDeck. It's going to be a StreamDeck, a really terrible one, but so basically we're going to have, this is a keypad, it's 50 cents from AliExpress, and then this is an Arduino Pro Micro, and this can be like a USB keyboard, so we can send custom commands. So if the user presses one of these buttons, we're going to send a custom command. So I could use that in OBS to like turn on and off, you know, or switch between scenes, or, you know, turn off like the camera like that, or whatever. Yeah, so you might have seen, if you follow my YouTube stuff as well, that SciQ sent me a big keypad as well. It would work on a similar principle as this kind of a thing. Doesn't really matter, like that's just a way of getting an input in, and then we're gonna send the commands using this. So I'm also thinking that it'd be cool to hook it up to ESP, so you could send Wi-Fi commands, so you could control it with your phone or anything. Because if you could control it with your phone, then you could actually kind of go about building a StreamDeck, because you could build like a StreamDeck app or whatever. So you get the, yeah, so rather than put it straight down into the PCB like this, because I don't know if I want to, this is its finished resting position. Like I know it's only $5, but sure, we may as well reuse what we can. I'm going to solder in, I'm going to solder in some female headers and then push this down into it. So I have two options with the female headers. I can cut a long strip down for the exact numbers that I need, or I can just have some 8-piece female headers. That's making a really solid connection, that come with all the like Wemoses, and that actually covers enough. That covers enough pins for what we need it for at the moment, so that would work okay, and I think I just might do that. It'll make a strong enough connection for the board, so I'm not worried about that now at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach them onto the Pro Micro. So now this should be pretty straight in terms of like just sticking straight down. So now I'm going to put them into the board here. I'm going to move it as far as I can to the left of the board, just from like I could cut more to fit in there, but I always find it's a bit of a pain. Like a Dremel would be nearly the right tool to use for this, and just rather than getting out the Dremel, like you can cut along here, but I always find that let's cut along it and see how it goes. So I'm just going to use some of the 8-pin ones already, and or I could just cut out a 12-pin one. That'd probably make more sense, wouldn't it? So that is where I want to cut. Be careful to not cut myself. Okay. So I should have 12 pins here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. So So what I try to do when I'm doing this, and I have my big head covering it, is the one that I'm on top of now is like the 13th pin. Don't try cut in between the one you want and the one you're trying to cut off. Sacrifice the one that like you're trying to cut off afterwards, because it so often breaks in towards the one that you actually want. So I'm just going to use my snips. Alright, so that's given me a pretty clean break off. Now so that's given me a clean break off of the ones that I want. I have a little bit of extra plastic here, but we can either file that off, or you can just stick in your snips and into the gap that it's left behind. I really should be wearing safety goggles, but I'll just put my finger in the way instead, because that's almost like using safety goggles. And yeah, so that leaves a relatively clean connection. I haven't compromised the plastic between this hole and the other side at all. So again, then we can just put it on my little file and just tidy it up a tiny bit. And there you go. So not too bad. Yeah, kind of the same thing here. So I want 12 of them. Well, I can just stick this in here. Now that one is still good. So I want up to here, and I want to sacrifice this guy. So I'm just gonna give it a little scratch to properly move or mark what I had. It's kind of hard for you to see because it's black. You can just see the scratch there, but it's not overly important anyways. So I'm just gonna, again, same thing, put my snips on top of the one I'm trying to sacrifice, and we'll cut through. That's all good. So now I have two sides to clean up. I could have cut from the end either. Am I left with one that is perfect? No, that's fine anyways. So I'm just gonna snip off. Do I have goggles here? I do. Just so I don't blind myself on stream, because that would be fun. So I'm just gonna try to tidy up in here a little bit. Yeah, so again, it's not damaging the wall of between the one you want to keep and the one you cut away at all if you do this. But if you try cut in between the two of them, it's too narrow of a thing. You'll end up losing a chunk of the one you want to keep. So or at least that's what I found anyways. I'm sure other people have other suggestions, and I've had success one way or the other. And it's not the neatest one in the world, but sure it'll do. Nice. Filed off probably a little bit more than I needed to there. It's very curved down, but that's okay. Yep, so there's our two female ports that are the right size, even though we didn't need them to be, but that's good to do it right, I suppose. So we're going to put in our female legs into this and do that. I am going to take them off because they're filthy. So I'm just gonna push it down. I'm gonna keep it to the left. Sorry, I'm I'm going to keep it to the left because the pins that I'm using are towards the right, and the pins from this are kind of in the middle. So like the more I keep it to the left, the more centered these pins will be. So that's probably a good thing. Right, so I can basically try that again. Let's just give myself some stick here. No, that's it sitting in okay. It's hard to get an angle that you can actually see those legs sticking up, but it doesn't really matter. If any of you have never seen TS100, the plan to mount the keypad eventually, Greg would be like, I'm terrible at drawing, but like if you imagine, let's imagine this is a box. So I'll 3D print this at some stage. So this is a box. It's going to be around the size of the keypad, we'll say, and I'm just gonna like leave a hole in here for the ribbon cable to go through, and it'll be covered by the bottom of the sticker. You can see the whole, like the ribbon cable comes out kind of short of the edge, and then like the USB port will be in here somewhere, and the board will be wherever, down here somewhere. And then how I'm going to actually attach it to this circuit board is just a male header pin, because there's a female header pins on the end of the keypad. So that should see us out. It's another advantage of using this green board is that it's well, actually it's no advantage at all, because I could have gotten away without using it, but it's the right size, so I wanted to use it. So if you've never seen TS100 starting up in terms of speed, you're in for a little treat, because it is fast. Okay, so it's perfectly cold now. Yeah, so just stick the keypad down, because it has a sticker on the back of it and everything, so it's all good. Go little TS100. So, yep, there we go. So it's nice and fast, despite being small. So I'll just, even though I was using it earlier, I'll just tin it up again. Nice and solder smoky. I have all the stuff for making a solder extractor, and I just haven't made it. I will at some stage, so just not yet. Okay, so yeah. Anybody work on anything interesting over the weekend? Other than the owl cake, I didn't do a huge amount. Hey, I can't read your name because it's on blue text, but I'm going to look at Twitch chat. Hey, Lumpy Dear Lumpiggy. I don't know if I'm saying that right. How's it going? I released a version of the LED matrix. No, sorry, not the LED matrix. The Tetris library for the LED matrix. It was, the code was written by Tobias Bloom, who wrote. He's the author of Mac Lighting, and it was this really cool sketch for those LED matrix displays. That was a clock that was drawn by fallen Tetris blocks, and I was like, oh, that is so nice. So what I did some of it on last week's stream. I did a lot since too. Is I turned it into a library. I don't actually need to do all of these at the moment. So that's the other side. So let me just do a couple to hold it into place. It's just that it'll save me a bit of time when I want to bridge them together. Maybe. No, do you know what? I'll just do them all. Yeah, so I turned it into a library, so it would be more generic, that you could pass in values to it and it would draw them out, and it, you know, would be regardless of you know, it wouldn't be specific to time anymore. He had done out drawing out numbers, and so at the moment it's still stuck to numbers, but I think Mike has been working on it. I think he sent a tweet today about how he's fed up with Tetris, so I think he's been working on it pretty much non-stop for the last few days by the sounds of things. So I'll get away with this last one. Yeah, so that would be a really cool addition. That isn't a stupid question, not at all. I kind of they're not the same. So it's kind of like a car and a bike, I would say. Like, they're both modes of transportation. They're both modes of transportation, but like they kind of have different use cases, I would say. Like, they both get you to work, but you wouldn't say a car is a bike or whatever. So Raspberry Pis are a lot more powerful. They can do a lot more things, I would say, than an Arduino. But Arduinos are very simple. Like, with a have you used a Raspberry Pi before, Lumpy? Yeah. So what Gavin is saying there, or Y Navig is saying there, is right. Like a Raspberry Pi is like your computer, but small. Like, it's just a really small version of a computer. It runs an operating system the same way your computer does, and all that stuff. While an Arduino is more like the chip inside your microwave or whatever. When you program it, it has one job. As soon as it turns on, it starts running this code that you told it about, and that's all it knows about, and it's all it cares about. But with a Raspberry Pi, when you turn it on, it needs to load the operating system and does whatever it needs to do with that. And yeah, so in some ways, like, the Arduino is a little bit easier, because you don't need to worry about kind of loading an operating system onto it. You know, like, once you upload that program to it, that's all it knows about, which is good in some ways. The divide between Arduino and Raspberry Pi has gotten a bit smaller as well. Like, it used to be, like, I remember I was doing a talk about IoT devices before, or DIY IoT stuff before, and I wanted an example of your exact question. I wanted to be able to give an answer about it, and like, I went researching it, and one of the pages was like, you know, if you want to build a device that monitors the moisture of your plant, an Arduino would be a good choice. But if you want to build a device that monitors the moisture of your plant and tweets you to say that it needs water, you'd want to use a Raspberry Pi. And I was like, that's not true. Like, you could definitely use an ESP8266, which is a type of an Arduino board, basically, for that. In fact, that would 100% be my recommendation for that. You could do it in no time at all. So yeah, the gap between them is definitely smaller. You program the black chip. I know that's just not in English. When I was younger, we built boards with different chips for different things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That sounds good to me. Whereabouts are you from, Lumpy? Is Lumpy der Lumpgig? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I do a lot more work with Arduinos than Raspberry Pis at the moment, but I'm trying to be a bit more like adventurous with it. I have a few Raspberry Pi projects coming up, but Arduino would definitely be my main thing to do. But it's nice to be able to have both, because there's definitely projects that are like way more suitable for a Raspberry Pi. Basically anything to do with like video editing or processing of any description is better suited for a Raspberry Pi. And then normally kind of simple enough electronics projects, my Bluetech's doing nothing, are better suited for Arduinos. But that could be anything. Oh, well, welcome, Lumpy. I was wondering if it was because there was the DER in the middle, and I was wondering if that was like the or whatever. It looked a little German, or I don't know, Deutsch. Am I even showing you on screen anymore? So I didn't put enough solder on this, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Yeah, you're in good company. There's lots of Germans here. I think Germans probably make up the majority of the viewers on the live streams, I would say. I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't looked at statistics for it. But when I was live streaming on YouTube, Germans had taken over with the watch time of my channel, so I'm pretty sure Germans are That's true. So my name is Ridiculous Hair. For if you translate, it's kind of like the messy one who is messy. Lumpy der Lumpigich. I see some people online as well saying about like some German words being ridiculous, that you have words for like really specific things, you know, where you've just like lumped a load of words together. Like I can't think of any examples of one, but like, yeah, I might have to learn German again. Get my dirty dasses going. So that is pretty much all we need from this. I need to connect them together now, which I'll do now. But yeah, so it's a nice and simple project, and then the keypad should just plug into it okay. I'm just going to mark both of them with Tipex or whiteout or whatever. Some things in English are really difficult, I would say. Like my name, which is below me here, below my microphone, there. That OUGH sound in English is difficult. It doesn't make a huge amount of sense. So I'm just going to put a bit of Tipex on this side and that side, so you just know which one to plug it into. I'll answer that in 2 seconds, Chris. So like OUGH, say in the word tough is an UFF sound. In the word true is in like I want to go through the shop. Is the U sound, and then thought, it's an aw sound. It just doesn't make any sense. And then lock is Lough as well. So yeah. So the reason I prefer Twitch, Chris, is because YouTube flagged a video of mine for community guidelines after I uploaded it. I didn't even release it. Just it was automatically flagged, and when you get a flag like that, a community strike, you lose the ability to live stream. And so the flag was revoked eventually, but it wasn't revoked in time for that live stream, which wasn't the end of the world or whatever. I used to stream on both, but it wasn't the end of the world or anything. But then, like, shortly after that, Twitch offered me affiliate program, which means you have the ability to get subs and donations and things like that. And I decided to diversify. Well, I would have kept streaming to both, but the affiliate program on Twitch, like, one of the rules is that you can't. You can create whatever content you want for another site. You can even upload the streams directly after. You can stop, like, I could stop streaming right now and go over and stream on YouTube, but I just can't stream at the same time to both. That's basically the rule for it. So I said I would give Twitch a try for a few months. Also, I think it's a growing platform too, and I thought it would be an interesting way to diversify. Like, I'm a smallish YouTube channel. I'm an even smaller Twitch channel, but, like, I think the amount of people streaming this kind of stuff on Twitch is pretty small. Like, I think probably the most popular person, or the person with the most subs, would be someone like Useless Duck Company. The other thing as well is that, like, the money on Twitch can be better. Like, I don't know how many subs I have, and I don't think I'm allowed to tell you anyways, but I'm probably going to earn more from Twitch subs this month than YouTube ads, which, I've 3,500 subscribers on YouTube, and I've 200 followers on Twitch, so it's kind of crazy the difference between the two. And the other thing as well is that with Amazon Prime now as well, you can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, and you get a free sub for a person. So, like, in some cases, like, people can subscribe to me and it doesn't even cost them anything, and I get money from that. I think that's what some people are doing, which is great. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to go into details about how much all of it is or anything, but it's pretty freely out there to figure out. So yeah, that's the main reason why. Yeah, I think that is the impression, and I announced on a YouTube stream. I announced on a YouTube stream that I was going to Twitch, and, like, I still remember, like, I can't remember who it was, but one person was like, I'm not going to Twitch because that's, people get doxxed and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's true, but I guess anybody could get doxxed on any site or whatever, but yeah, and that's basically it. Yeah, I think one thing I really like about Twitch for live streams is, and I don't think I stream for long enough to take advantage of this, is that, like, the discovery on Twitch is much better, I would say. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Tweezers maybe. The discovery on Twitch is much better in terms of if you're just like, oh, I'm gonna watch some stuff or whatever. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. Like, it's much easier to jump around to different people. You're like, oh, I'm in the mood for looking at Arduino stuff now. I'm going to look around for a new person to watch. And yeah, you can just search for Arduino, or you can go to creative and just scroll down through people. It's much easier to find you know, content, like live streaming content. But like YouTube, you're only really going to find live streamers who you're subscribed to. So it is a bit different in that regard. I don't know if this is the best way to do this, but see, if I didn't oh, this was cold. Oops. If I didn't solder every point there, this would be a lot easier. But anyways, I did solder every point, so we are where we are. I can just bridge it, I think. Come on, melt. Yeah, so that's kind of it. I don't know if I answered that properly now, but yeah, it's definitely much easier to discover new people on it, I would say. Like, Lumpy, how did you find me? Like, you are new to the stream. I think I haven't seen you here before. Like, did you just go into creative and see what was available and go, oh yeah, that looks kind of interesting? Like, I just don't think that happens on YouTube. For live streams, for sure, anyways. Alright, so let's get a nice big lump of solder. Let's get a bit of flux going, I think. Yeah, so like that just never happens on YouTube. You know, it's just scrolling through a category to see what is around. There is a lot of painting, alright, but I guess maybe like technology should have its own one or whatever. Like programming is in creative too, right? Yeah, got those. That's our happy little accident, the Bob Ross one. Yeah, you're never going to compete with Bob Ross. But there's some seriously talented people like streaming on Twitch and stuff. So yeah, it's cool. It's a cool platform. But I think I don't stream enough to be like a proper Twitch person. Like realistically, like a Twitch streamer streams a lot more than I do. Like I'm basically streaming like the bare minimum to keep the affiliate, but I can't really stream more than that just from a time perspective, so I do what I can and can't do any more. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. I don't normally do this in terms of like just draw blobs of solder. I hope they're not touching each other. I don't think they are. I have a feeling I'm going to be left with a big bubble of solder below the board. We'll see. definitely have to get out the multimeter to see am I bridging anything here. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, like I'm still pretty new to Twitch in terms of like consuming content. So like even sometimes like somebody'd like tell me about like, oh, there's this you know, like you should be hosting people, and I'm kind of like, I really need to look into what hosting is. I think it's just that when you're offline, if somebody comes to your channel, you can host another person. So if you were streaming Greg or whatever, like if I was offline and you were online, it would show your stream on my channel. Now it'd clearly say that it was you or whatever. Is this lead free? Nope. It is the cheapest of the cheap. I'm probably gonna die from lead poisoning. And I've had it for a long time as well, so it probably has all sorts of fun stuff in it. I'm definitely inhaling a load of it. That's fine. I don't have too many vices, so however long that extends my life, I'm going to shorten it again with this. Okay, so that's it all done up. I don't see any shorts, but let's test for them. Do we have big blobs of solder? I do have a little bit of blobs of solder. You can kind of see it down there. It's hard to get a picture of the light, but it will be fine. It's not going to cause any issues with anything. This is my main concern. Where is my multimeter? Okay, so I may as well test from the top here, as long as the pins aren't too hot. Yep, me too. PB for the win. Oh, I can't test from the top. These are male connectors. I can still test from the top. So let's set this to multimeter mode. Alright, so the beep in your here and there is just me purposely touching the same pin just to make sure that I have an okay connection on the pin that I'm touching. Before moving on to the next one. So, yep, they're all good. They're not touching off each other. So, let's plug it in and see does it work. What time is it? 20 past 11. I think we'll have time to get it to try out a macro, like just change scene or something on OBS. So you can see here I have a little bit of Tipex on either side, and I have it marked here and Tipex too, so I know which way to plug it in, but I think it's pretty obvious anyways. So let's plug that in. Let's move my soldering iron so I don't burn my USB cable. I'm going to bring that across wherever it is. Here it is. Yeah, I think you just need to make sure to like wash your hands after soldering, like instead of eating. Yeah, so the eventual plan would be that it would be in a case. I don't know which way I'm gonna fold this. It'd be in a case that kind of sits on top like that. But this will do for the moment, anyways. It's kind of a weird design decision by them to have it. Like, wouldn't that make more sense if that was the top? Then I could just flip the whole thing around and have untethered access to it. But anyways. Doesn't matter. So let's go back to screen share. And we'll go to tools. We got a COM port 9. Let's open our serial monitor. The serial monitor is already open. Let's just clear the output. And oh, it probably needs to be opened a second time. Opened again. Open. That's all that's wrong with it. Yep. So all good. Right, so that's a nice solid connection. So now all that's left to do is to make this into a macro keypad. So yeah, I don't think it'd be nice to snort solder. Have you ever seen the someone from work actually showed it to me, some people cast ant farms that, like, I don't know, do they kill all the ants? I guess they do. They pour like molten aluminium down into the ant farm, and like it goes through all the crevices that the ants have dug out, and what you're left with then is like a perfect cast of all the crevices and stuff, and it looks super cool. Maybe snort and solder would be pretty similar. Yeah, so that looks good, but now we need to do yeah, I don't know if the ants are still in it. Maybe the ants are gone at that stage. I wouldn't do it myself, but the output of it is pretty cool. I actually really wanted an ant aquarium type thing when I was younger. You know, you can get them, like, they're made out of, like, I don't know, the stuff that they're digging through is like a gel or something. I thought that would be really cool. Let me see. Ant farm gel. Yeah, this is kind of one. I really wanted one of these when I was younger. I just thought it looked cool. But alas, it never happened, and now I don't think I want ants in my house. Yeah, no, that's cool as well. Lightning hits the sand. Nature is lit is a pretty cool subreddit. Okay, so let me configure a hotkey in OBS. That's OBS hotkey. Maybe I can. Let me just back up my scene collection. Can I do that? Edit, view, profile scene. Maybe I can't do it while I'm streaming. Maybe I won't be able to change these when I'm streaming. Transition override. OBS hotkey switch scene. Hotkeys for scene. Let me show you. Right click and scene and set a hotkey to it. I don't see set hotkey. Maybe it's I can't do it when I'm streaming. Stream transitions are only available in OBS Studio. I don't think I'm using OBS Studio. Anyways, there must be some hotkey we can put in. Yeah, there is. Beginner's breakfast. Yeah. So these are my different scenes. Doesn't look like I can swap between the scenes though. That's a pity. That's interesting. I might go down that rabbit hole sometime. Okay, so what am I on now? I'm on screen share. So I guess if I could just hide something on that. Where's the screen share? screen share and me. So if I hid me, I suppose, where am I? Show Logitech me. Yeah. Let's add, oh, no, go on. Control Shift M. Alright, so if I'm anywhere, can I press Control Shift M? No. Doesn't even seem to work in OBS either. Control Shift M? Well, this is going well. Settings, let's go back to hotkeys. Oh, I only have that for show. Okay. Control Shift M. No. Control Shift M. Okay, now it's working. It's working when I'm in OBS. It also works when I'm in that, but it also seems to do something else. But that's fine. We can worry about that some other time. So if I bound that to key 1, we'll say. Let's see how this works out. So nah, wasps are my nemesis. I hate wasps. Right, so let's do if serial key. Right, so if key is equal to, I'm gonna presume it's like this. I wonder, can you do case statement on cars? Beekeeping is something that interests me. No, sort of. Switch statement on char C++. Can I do that? Switch case with char. I don't really understand. Case 2. It looks like I can. So let's try that out. Switch key and then case 1 is this, and we'll break. Is there no dangerous creatures in New Zealand? Your yeah, your Australian neighbors are giving you a bad name, so let me just go to examples and go to the USB keyboard. No, there's no good examples there. Arduino keyboard commands. Oh, there is an example of this. I'm pretty sure I got it from here. Examples. I need to finish up pretty soon. Does it log out? Yeah. See, Control Alt. So I did left shift as one of them. So I Control Shift whatever M is what I did. So I'm going to do left shift. Where is the rest of that example? Left shift control. And I need key press M. And I'm going to need to do like a delay or something. Yes, delay 100 and then all. Release on. Break goes here, I guess. I don't know. Right, that should see me out. Let's upload that and it's keyboard not found. Oh yes, this example doesn't have keyboard in it at all. So let's bring this in from here. It is a library. Sure, where am I? Simple keypad. Okay, so we got our library. It's there. What else do we need? We need keyboard begin. In here. I'll format it in a second. I think that's it. Okay. Control T formats. There's a way to send commands to Windows and find the OBS windows and commands to that. Yeah, I'll have to look at that some other time. I really need to finish up soon. So if I can get this to just turn off my face, I will be happy that we're on the right track. And we can finish it up some other time. HID attack sounds yeah, COM port 9 is not the right COM port. It's COM port 3 for programming and COM port 9 for the serial output and stuff. I will be happy if this just turns off my face. It did not turn off my face. I really should be doing a serial print. Let's get rid of the switch statement and just make it if key equals 1. I'll worry about case statements some other time. Let's upload. Okay, well that's uploading HID attack. High attack. I forgot to put in the D part. Human interface device. It's moving me. I didn't think I did need to focus the window. Well, it's not working anyways. It was Control Shift M, right? Yeah. Control Shift M. It even works over. It even works when I'm focused on Arduino. So, am I doing something wrong here? Oh, it should be not double quotes, it should be single quotes. That could be the problem. That could have been my problem all along. It's C++. Well, it's Arduino's version of it, but it's C++ under the hood. Yay! Woo! So I press the 1 button, turns me off, and here I am again. So yeah, need to do a lot more work on making it fancier or whatever, but at least it's there. Also, you might be happy to know that it seems like Control Shift M brings up the serial monitor on Arduino. So there we got 2. Maybe it's just Control M. No, Control Shift M brings up the serial monitor on Arduino. So there's a nice little tip for you too. So now my macro keypad can be used to bring up serial monitors for Arduinos. Yeah, cool. I really need to finish up, so I'm gonna finish up here. Thanks a lot for joining, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll continue on this project some other time. so we can make it a nice fully featured stream deck rather than just this one that turns off my picture. But yeah, thanks a lot. I will catch you again. Good night, everybody, and good morning to my oceanic friends. Right, bye bye.